So what I got the chance to do is participate in what's called Honor Flight. And we have a group here in Columbus that is Honor Flight Columbus. The overarching goal of Honor Flight is to celebrate all of the American veterans that are out there and inviting them to share an experience out at the monuments in D.C. This was my first flight. So before the pandemic happened, I had signed up and was get a chance to go be a guardian and was raising some funds to be able to go out there and to do this flight with Honor Flight. And then everything came crashing to a halt. I was fortunate enough to go on the flight on June 13th. So I was fortunate enough to go on this one, and I was responsible for 2 of the veterans. Both of them were Vietnam era, so that was pretty neat. I was fortunate enough to get 2 different veterans. I had Denny and I had Tommy. The day started where we wound up going to the Air Force Monument. This was one of 2 really neat ones for me because my veteran that I had was from the Air Force. So we would look at the different things that they had there. They had these really tall spires, as they were, dedicating of their 3 different things that they have for the Air Force and what their mottos are. And the tallest one is over 230 feet high. So the thing just is enormous. And we went and we looked at the wall about all the different individuals who were part of the early times of the Air Force. And so at this time too, when we were doing our training, we were told we have challenge coins to provide to our veterans at any given point that we thought was appropriate. There's also a pin that was to go along for those folks who were in the Vietnam War, since unfortunately they were not really welcomed home at that time. So you could choose different times to be able to pin them as well as present them with their coin. For Denny, I thought this was an appropriate monument, so we had a moment where I thanked him for his service, gave him a good handshake, had the coin in hand, and handed it over to him, and he thought that was an amazing experience in its own right. He thought that was so neat to be able to do that. He was smiling from ear to ear at that point in time. So it was humbling to be there. It really was. And to be a part of something that these individuals, especially any of these folks who served in the Air Force at that time, to be able to see their monument and to see it through what their perspective was pretty neat. The other ones were, we visited Arlington National Cemetery. We got to see the changing of the guard. The real neat thing there was the guard that was on duty that was being relieved was from Ohio. The reverence that is there and this absolute silence throughout that time was unreal. It was my first time doing that, so that was, for me, amazing. I had never had a chance to witness that before, and to be there with, again, veterans from all over Ohio, central Ohio area, and to be able to see something like that was very awe-inspiring. When we came back home, it was amazing. We had 2,000 people welcoming us back from all over the place in Ohio. I had my son there, my wife was there, so that was pretty neat. It was overwhelming with that many people there at the airport, and it was wild. It was amazing. Both my veterans, they were grinning from ear to ear when they got off the plane, honestly.